class. So today we're going to talk about adding and subtracting fractions. So the first one we are going to discuss is adding with like denominators. And remember, denominators are the numbers that are on the bottom. These both have 5s. So the first thing you do is, add the numerators. Okay, so for down here, 2 plus 1 equals 3. The second part, keep the denominator the same. So the same denominator means it's going to be a 5. And then the last step is simplify. In this particular case, it is simplified. We don't have a number that goes into both 3 and 5. So that is your answer. This second one, add the numerators. 4 plus 2 is 6 over 7. Cannot be reduced. We kept the same denominator, which was 7. Can't simplify, so there we go. This next one, 5 plus 1, adding the numerators. Keep the denominators the same. And then simplify. 6 divided by 6 equals 1. Right? This is saying that there's 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And all 6 of them are colored in. So that equals 1 whole. Okay, now we're going to look at adding fractions with unlike denominators. So the first step is we are going to find the least common denominator. So that means the lowest number that both of the bottom numbers go into. So 3 and 5. What's the lowest number that both of those go into? So 5, 3 can't go into 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 can't go into 10. 5 times 3 is 15. So we have 15 and 15. 3 times 5 is 15. Whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 fifteenths is equal to 2/3. And 5 times 3 equals 15. Whatever we do to the top, we have to do to the bottom. Vice versa, sorry. Whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So that's going to be 6. 10 plus 6, because our next step is going to be add the numerators. That's the top numbers. So that's going to equal 16. The next step, keep the denominators the same. You don't add the bottom number, you keep it the same. Is 15. And the last one is simplify. So we have 16 over 15. That is an improper fraction. So what we want to do is divide 15 into 16. Goes 1 time, so that means we have 1 whole and 1 left over, so 1 over 15. So our answer is 1 and 1/15. Okay. Looking at this next one, 2/5 plus 5/6. What number is the least common multiple? The least common denominator, the lowest number that both of those go into. I think it's 30. So 5 times 6 equals 30. If we do it to the bottom, we have to do it to the top. It's going to equal 12. 6 times 5 is 30. So 5 times 5 is 25. Add those together, we get 37. Keep the denominator the same over 30. So this is an improper fraction. We'll want to divide 30 into 37. Goes once, so 1 whole, and 7/30ths left over. So our answer is 1 7/30. Okay, so now subtracting with like denominators. And that's the key, like denominators. Down here, 6 and 6. They do have the same denominator. So our first step is, wrong tool, subtract. The numerators. So our numerators are 5 and 3. 5 subtract 3 is 2. Our next step, keep the denominator the same. We do not subtract the denominator, it stays the same. So that's going to be over 6. And our last step, simplify. So 2 goes into both of these. 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 1/3 is our answer. This next example, the denominators are the same. So our first step is going to be subtract the numerators. 4 minus 2 is 2. Keep the denominator the same. 2/7, that can't be reduced, so we're not able to simplify, so our answer is 2/7. This next one, once again, the denominators are the same. We are going to first subtract the numerators. 7 subtract 5 is 2. Keep the denominators the same, over 12. Simplify. 2 can go into 12, so 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Our answer is 1/6. Now we're going to look at simplifying unlike denominators. So once again, our first step is to find the least common denominator. Okay, so if we're down here, we look at 8 and 4. What number goes into both 8 and 4? Well, 4 goes into 8, so we can keep the 8 the same. So we're going to keep that as 5/8. But this one we had to multiply by 2. Whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtract. The next step is to subtract the numerators. So 5 minus 2 is 3. Our next one, keep the denominator the same. So that's going to be over 8. That cannot be simplified. That's as low as it goes, so our answer is 3/8. This one, 3 and 5, the lowest common denominator is 15. So this one we multiplied by 3. Have to multiply that by 3. This one we multiplied by 5. Have to multiply that one by 5. So we have 12 minus 10. 12 minus 10 is going to equal 2. Subtract the numerators, keep the denominators the same. 2/15. 2 doesn't go into 15. That is our lowest, our simplified answer.